we're going to take a look at depression from a new perspective, probably different than any perspective you've heard before. I ask that you stick with me through to the end of the video. That way you can take in all the information and take some time to process it and think about it. Stay tuned.
I'm the CEO. It's Mega Chop, you already know.
Before we hop in to this concept of depression and talk about it more, I want to make sure that you know I am an active resource to discuss the information in this video or any other videos that I create. I'm live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evenings on Twitch at twitch.tv/megachopceo. I welcome you to stop by the stream and talk to myself or anyone in our community, as we have many who have battled the same issue. There's an idea that I want you to keep in mind throughout this whole video as we talk about my perspective, my view on depression from my firsthand battle with it. Depression, think of depression as a being or a living entity that doesn't want you to know that it exists, especially in this form. It's something that has an intent, something that is seeking to pick you apart from the inside, to destroy you. It's cunning and deceptive because it's been around since practically the beginning of time, and it has a way to take you in your happiest moments and make you feel miserable. When everything seems to be going right in your life, it will convince you that everything's going wrong. Again, keep that in mind as we look at my perspective on depression. So I want in this video, especially to people who have not battled depression, paint a picture for you of what it's like 24/7. I think it's very valuable though as well throughout information that I provide to those who battle depression, because it can help you if you struggle in ways to articulate this to someone else. This information can help you better explain how depression works, especially if this is how you experience it as well. So the question that I have for everybody is multiple, actually. Have you ever had someone around you that just by being with them, it drains you physically, mentally, and emotionally? Now, I want you to picture that person in your mind and think about it. Do they say things that build you up or tear you down? Do they say things about you that you know to be true or that you know to be false? When you're at the end of your interaction with them, whether it be hours or days, do you feel like, yes, I'm ready to go. I can't wait. I feel so good. I feel so recharged. Or do you get to the end and you're like, bro, I'm wiped. I need a nap. Forget a nap. I need to sleep for like the next 48 hours. I'm wiped in every way imaginable. This is the type of person that I want you to transfer that viewpoint, those feelings, those thoughts, and place those on the concept of depression. Now, think about that person and you can leave their presence, or you can ask them to leave your presence. Depression, you can't. Depression is there. It's with you 24/7. So think about that experience that you have, usually for small periods of time. And now think of your friends and family who battled depression, and they have that person in their mind 24/7. Doesn't matter if they're trying to sleep. Doesn't matter if they're trying to enjoy a meal. Doesn't matter if they're trying to enjoy time with their family. That person is there. They've taken up a room. They've set up shop. They aren't paying rent. they're like, yo, I'm gonna just take this little piece of your mind over here and hang out, and I may throw my socks over in this room, I may spill my bowl of cereal in this room, and I'm not gonna clean it up. I'm just gonna trash the joint. Like, I'm gonna be here a while, I'm gonna enjoy it and just wreak havoc and live my best life while I try and make you live your worst life. It's kind of a scary thought when you think of it like that. And if it's a scary thought, I don't want you to click out of the video just yet. It's important that these conversations that aren't fun, that aren't enjoyable, that we have these, that we talk about these, that we realize the effects of these things in their truest form that we possibly can. Because how can we help loved ones if we don't fully comprehend the seriousness of the situation? Okay, so when I say depression just kind of throws their socks around, they spill their cereal, they don't clean it up, what does that look like? So you may have your significant other and they're like, wow, you're looking really good today. Ooh, they threw that pesky little word in there, today. Now in your mind, depression is like, oh, they said, wow, you really look good today. What do you think they thought of you yesterday? Did they say that? Or the day before that? Did they say that to you then? You must not look good very often. Or maybe a best friend says, hey, next time we go out to eat, can I pick where we go out to eat? That little inflection, can I? All of a sudden, depression's like, wait a minute, you picked the place that y'all ate at the last 3 times. You're awfully selfish. And all of a sudden, your mind's swirling like, oh crap, that's right, I must be selfish. So it's these little things, these little tweaks. It takes some truths and it interweaves jumps in thought processes. Our significant other never said, you never look nice. You don't normally look nice. But we made it there. Our friend never said, wow, you're selfish. How about we focus on me for once? But we made it there. It's these little words, these little phrases. There's usually some level of truth in there, but there's a tearing down piece of untruth to try and pick us apart. Now, if you battle depression, you're probably like, well, maybe I haven't battled those exact same scenarios as you said them, but yeah, that sounds pretty on point. I've had a lot of experiences like that. If you've never battled depression, though, you might be thinking in the back of your mind, wow, that's a pretty big jump. Like, how did we get there? And it's okay, I get it. I'm not trying to tell you that you have to know how this works. That's why we're talking about it, to help you understand. It's not your fault if you don't understand. Now's your opportunity, though, to lean in. Now's your opportunity to say, oh, tell me more. Like, how does that work in your mind? Because that's the only way that you can help make that move, that you can help provide encouragement, that you can help provide support, is when you truly understand where they're coming from. So we've kind of alluded to the idea that I really want to make sure we got across. So I'm going to reiterate it very clearly and specifically. So let's think back again to that person that drains you mentally, physically, emotionally. Okay, so think about that person being on the inside of your friend, your loved one's head, and now you're having an interaction with them. And you're talking with them, maybe you're having a good time, and you obviously don't know exactly what's going on inside their mind, but depression is chipping away bit by bit during your interaction. Maybe you see their demeanor change. Maybe you see that, something doesn't look quite right. Maybe you feel something isn't quite right. It's a good time to ask them, hey, are you okay? Because otherwise, this unseen individual, this unseen enemy, is picking apart your friend or your loved one from the inside. You're there while it's happening, and you don't hear it, so you're not able to quickly come to their defense and say, wait a minute, my friend isn't useless. My friend is amazing. Have you seen all the things they've done? Have you seen all the people that they've impacted? That's not fair. Stop lying to them. If you don't know that's going on, you can't come to their defense. But if you feel these subtle things, maybe they don't feel comfortable saying it, but it can be your trigger to say, hey, is something going on? I want to talk to you if it is. You open the door. You leave that open so that they don't have to approach it. They don't have to even take the full scary step of, hey, we're not even talking about this right now. How do I break into this? You've opened the door. You've created a safe place for them to say, actually, yes, I had this thought that came into my mind that you don't really like me. And you can say, whoa, wait a minute. I look up to you. You're amazing. You can tell them the truth so that they're not stuck on that lie. Now, these certainly are not the only negative thought paths that I battled with depression. There are plenty more, and we will talk more about those in future videos. And I know that the information that we're covering in this video is pretty weighty, and I get that. I don't want anyone walking away from this video having this feeling of defeat, because I've already given you guys the end of my story. I've given you the sneak peek, because I want you to have hope as we go through this video series that we're going to talk about real things. It might not feel good. We might not enjoy it, but we're going to talk about the reality of it to help everyone understand the truth behind this. And we're going to talk about the hope that's there. I'm going to give you tips. I'm going to give you real life things that I have done to help with my walk in depression and after. Because I don't walk in depression anymore. I've been freed from it. It's a good ending. There is hope. And I want you to know that. And I want you to hold on to that as we go through this information. And speaking of, the very next video that I plan to make is talking around the idea of taking every thought captive, because that is a tool that I learned and I used as I battled depression, and I have continued to use on my walk outside of depression and towards further freedom for myself. So we're going to talk about that in the next video. And again, if you want to come, if you want to talk to someone, if you want a community to surround you, I'm live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Twitch at twitch.tv/megachopceo. You have myself and many other community members who are already a part that have walked similar journeys. And we're always there and willing to welcome you into our community, our family. So I thank you for taking the time. While you're here, make sure that you click like, subscribe, and smash that bell for notifications. And I'll see you next time.